How many of you heard about DDT or about Rachel Carson? This is DDT. Imagine a woman under the burning sun picking cotton in the field, and there is very strange smell of chemical around her. She is not aware that she is not just supporting her country, community, and family by picking cotton, but she is being slowly poisoned by a silent killer for many, many years. Rachel Carson is a phenomenal woman. She is a marine biologist who in the 60s caused a huge environmental revolution starting from the US. It was not an easy fight. She really faced huge criticism and resistance from big and very important industries. But she was the one who wrote a silent spring book. The spring was silent because of DDT. A lot of animals were dying. She was the one who exposed the negative impact of DDT as well as other chemicals on the wild animals, on the nature, and on the human health. She not only was writing about this, she really created an action. She was the reason why DDT was banned. She was the reason why, for the first time, Environmental Protection Agency was created in the West, long before it was done in other countries. And she was also the one who led to establishment of the International Earth Day. So she caused the whole environmental revolution. As a result, in the Soviet Union, in 1970, DDT was also banned. In US, it was banned in 1972. But in this place, in Uzbekistan, DDT was massively used. Barely the last place in the world, until 1987. Thousands and thousands and thousands of women were picking cotton, as well as children, being exposed every time to DDT. DDT was sprayed. Everyone believed it was to save crops. But as I mentioned before, it brought very difficult and painful consequences. Not only for these women, for children and future generations. In 2019, Columbia University announced its seminal research that took place 60 years. They were researching lives of 15,000 women across US who had contact with DDT when they were still young. And they said firmly, not only women exposed to large volume of DDT are having risk of breast cancer much higher than all the rest, their daughters, before they were born, are also facing very high risk of the breast cancer. DDT and its lasting effect are still around us. According to statistics from last year, in Uzbekistan, we had 4,300 women with breast cancer confirmed. Trust me, there are way more women who were not diagnosed. If we compare to statistics from Russia, Latvia, at least 2 times more women having the same diagnosis. And then let me ask you a tough question. How many of them were exposed to DDT when they were still young, in 80s, in 70s? How many of them are daughters of those who were exposed? We don't know. But what we know for sure, the evidence is here. Pesticides and chemicals are affecting tremendously the nature and the human health. Even today in Uzbekistan, there is no longer DDT, but it stays in the soil, in the air, and in the water for centuries. It stays for centuries, polluting waters around us. On top of it, we still have 1,100 registered pesticides. 4 out of this 1,100 by WHO are highly hazardous or very dangerous. The 4 should be immediately banned. So far, they are around us. They're still being used for cotton and wheat fields. In addition to banning them, we need to hear the voices heard from women, children, people living in the rural areas, to hear their stories, to hear their struggle, how they experience this. Did they have other diseases? Do they see the difference in the nature, in the water reservoirs, in the soil? What type of policy actions needs to be adopted as soon as possible? What we should not be agreeing to in future if we want to avoid problems like this with the public and human health? Is it just a health issue or it's a justice issue and accountability? I believe it's the latter. It's really about the justice. It's really about the right of people not to risk their health when they are part of agriculture structures. And this is where all of us can take an action. You can do research. You can publish articles. You can start taking an action about environment in general. The air quality, the water quality, the soil degradation, rural livelihoods. We can start our action today to make sure that we are continue what Rachel did long time ago. Rachel was a brave woman and she made huge transformation. We can also make our small contribution for the benefit of our country, of our nation, and our communities. Let's go to action. Caring environment, caring about public health, caring for future of generations in Uzbekistan. Thank you so much.